Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Digital Rajan 22M. If you are new here, I'm Rajan and on this channel I cover cybersecurity and ethical hacking tips to help you stay safe online. But before dive into the actual content of this video, let us see a quick disclaimer.
This video is only for educational purposes only. This channel does not promote any illegal content. All contents are provided by this channel is meant for educational purposes only. This channel gives you technology tips and tricks. So
So the first question is what is Nmap? So Nmap basically stands for Network Mapper. It's a tool that helps us discover devices connected to a network, see which ports are open or closed. It is commonly used by network administrators and cybersecurity professionals to map out network security, but it's also a great tool for beginners to understand how network function. But remember, Nmap is legal to use on your own network or any network where you have permission, but it's illegal to scan public networks without consent. So let us come to all the installation process of Nmap. So for this video, I will show the installation process on Linux device, but if you are using any other device such as Windows or Mac OS, you can read the installation article or the installation process on the official Nmap documentation. But for this video, make sure that you have a Linux computer system. I am using Kali Linux, which is a hacker's operating system. You can see here, this is my Kali Linux operating system's desktop environment, which I am running it on my own virtual machine. So let's open up the terminal and follow the exact command. If you are using any other Linux distribution such as Ubuntu, the command is same as follows. But if you are using any other Linux distribution such as Black Arch or any Red Hat distribution, the command is different. You can search it online. So for this video, here is the command. So first, you have to update your all the repositories by the command apt update, but make sure to run this command on sudo privilege permission. Enter the password, hit enter. Let's wait for the installation for the updation. So here in my case, I have terminated the updation process as because I already have updated my system before. So in your case, you might have to update it fully. I think the command sudo apt get update will update your all your URLs on your Kali Linux machine or any Linux distribution which you any basically any Debian based operating system Linux. So after updating your Linux machine, just hit the command sudo apt install nmap and hit enter and give it some time. It might take some time to install it on your computer. If you are a new user, then it can take some time. Give it the time. But in my case, I already have installed the nmap. So here is my nmap installed on my Linux machine. So if you want more detailed video about Nmap, just comment below. I will make a full tutorial on Nmap. and I will show all of the commands. But for this video, I will show some of the basic commands which are regularly used by ethical hacker and penetration tester on a regular basis, which you must have know. So let's begin. So the first command is on your Linux terminal machine. You type the command man nmap, and here you can see all the manual page of nmap. Here is the brief description of what is level. Here you can see all the flags here, the uses of their of those flags, and all the commands we will see these after. So let's look at a few basic nmap command. These are simple but very powerful. So first is basic scan. To start, let's do a basic scan. This will scan all the open ports on a device. Just type nmap and the targeted IP address you want to scan. But for this video, I am using my Metasploitable 3, which is a my own lab vulnerable machine, and I am using it. So I will just hit my Metasploitable IP address, which is 192.168.173.8. 192.168.173.8, and just hit enter and just wait a few seconds and the output will show you. This nmap scan might take few times, so give it some time, take a coffee break and give it some time just. So as you can see, our nmap result is here on the screen. You can see that here is a column named port and state and services. All of these things has its own meaning. For example, the port column specify which port is opened on the targeted system, and the state specify the state of the port. I mean the port is closed or the open, and the services running on those ports are listed here. In my case, on my target system Metasploitable 3, there is some of the open ports such as 21, 22, 80, 445, 8080. All of this has its own services and its own state. For example, the 21 port number, which has FTP services running on, is open, and the 22, which is SSH, is open, but the port number 3000, which is PPP service, is closed. So here it might depends on what type of target you are scanning on, and depending on the target, the result might vary. For this reason, the output of my scan result may be differ from your scan result and your friend's scan result, because every target has its own IP addresses and its own services running on. So here it is a very basic scan which just only show that which ports are open and what is the state of the port and which services is running on. But if you want more detailed result of scan, you can use some of the flags which here. For example, -p option or -p flag specify which specific port you want to scan on the target. For example, if I hit a command nmap and specify the IP address, after that I will use -p option and specify 80 and hit enter, and see the only there is a one port which is port 80, but in reality on our target system there is many ports open, but in the result I can see that only one port is open, which is called port 80, and it's open and the service is HTTP. It is because the hyphen "p" option or the hyphen "p" flag which specify which port to scan. Here I specified port number 80, so that's because I'm just only seeing the port 80 scan result. You can scan multiple ports. For example, I want to scan port 80 with port 22, port 111, and port 10, so on. You can scan many of ports by specifying the port name separated by comma and just hitting enter. The result you can see here. So our next interesting command is -s and capital V flag, which is used to scan the specific version of the service which is running on the target. For example, if I use port 80 to scan, or you can say port 22 to scan, and I use -s and capital V and hitting enter, the result might show the actual version number of the service which is running on the target. And in my case, on my target system, there is a SSH service, and the exact version of SSH, OpenSSH 6.6.1 P1 Ubuntu. It can show you the exact version of the service. So basically the -s weak flag is used to detect the version of the service. Find out which service and version are running on open ports. Use Nmap -sv and IP address. This is useful for learning about the software on those ports. So our next command is nmap small v and the IP address you want to scan on. This command is useful for verbose message. I mean, if you are using the nmap to scan a target, and by hitting -v option, you can see in the real time what port the nmap is discovering. For example, as compared to my previous output, you can see here the better verbose output of the nmap command. It is basically useful when you don't have a lot of patience to wait for the total scan. Sometimes it might take a longer time than expectation. So it's better to use a -v option during scan for a better verbose output. Now let us scan a local network like your home network. I will use a command to see which devices are connected to it. Just type nmap -sn and your subnet mask one, which is in my case 192.168.1.0/24 and hit enter. This does a ping scan across the subnet to find active devices. But remember, only do this scan on your own network and make sure to have permission if you are scanning any network that not yours. For this video on my network, there is only one device, which is this laptop, which is connected to my network, so it will not find any other devices. So I am quitting it by pressing Ctrl C. So if you are interested to look on what devices are connected to your own network, then you can use this command by your subnet mask basically. So let's jump to the another command. So now let's look at how to intercept Nmap's result. So the first output you can see, which is called open ports. An open port means that device is running a service on that port. For example, if port 80 is open, it usually means there is a web server. Another result you can see, which is filtered port. Filtered port are blocked by firewall or security settings, and Nmap can't get details here. This is the actual meaning of filter. And other thing you can find, which is closed port. It is the simple meaning which is closed port means there is no service running on that port. So there are lots of commands, lots of flags which is used with Nmap to scan more comprehensively to a target network. For this video, if I am going to demonstrate all the commands, then it will make the video more longer. So if you are interested to learning those commands more effectively and efficiently, just comment down below. I will make a separate video or a separate playlist for this. So let us talk about some of the common use case of for beginners. So as a beginner, you can use Nmap to check the security of your home network, like making sure unnecessary ports aren't open. If you are setting up your lab environment to practice, Nmap can help you see how a network looks and what services are running. But remember, always be ethical and legal with your scans. So let us come to the conclusion of this video. Alright, that's it for our Nmap basic tutorial. Today we learned how to install Nmap, run basic commands and intercept the result. For anyone waiting to learn more advanced feature, you could look into options like scanning for vulnerabilities or performing network mapping. So if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe and leave a comment on what you would like to see the next. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Till then, take care.